Welcome back to hell. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. All right, a couple of shop updates. We got Justin over here. Everything is cool. He's from Huntsville, Alabama. Towed his car up here. He's having MyVec issues. We just checked it, and it looks like the actuator works, but the MyVec cam gear itself is just stuck. The Lancer / Evo is ready. We're only having one issue because we had to use a GSR shifter, and we don't have a GSR center console. I'm sorry, the shifter knob or all that center part yet. It's hard to get into gear, and because we changed so much of the dynamics of the car, you know, the steering angle and all that stuff is off. We're trying to get it to, you know, go get a line, but you know, the toe is in, the camber is out and stuff like that. But you know, it starts up and moves sluggishly because of the cambers and all that stuff, the toe. But we're working at it. It's going to be done I think this week, then the shifter, and then we'll go to tune. Vang broken in, going to be tuned this week actually, so the next couple of videos you'll see him being tuned. Might take more than one day because we're gonna break him in on, I mean, we broke him in, but we're gonna do the 93, then take him off and change the oil and all that stuff. Victor Reyes, aka Victor the Killer. We just broke him in, everything is good. You know, we built the motor top to bottom just like on the other cars. Carl just wired in the IJN1N sequential, and we're about to do the timing, sync, and basically base tune him on you know, 27 on the street, and then put him on the dyno, tune him, change the oil, then make some power. Who else we got? Who's this? Patrick Swayze. No, I'm just kidding. Patrick Zomek. He's gotten work done by us before. He had issues we fixed, but now he's getting a manifold, a complete downpipe and exhaust, and he's getting Ultimate Racing complete exhaust. It's my personal favorite sounding wise. I don't want to hear it like, oh, ETS V2 sounds better. Yeah, I get it. Just like, you know, I like sashimi over sushi, I prefer this exhaust over other exhausts for these cars. He's also getting a Ecu Master Black, our plug and play harness, and a complete flex wheel tune, suspension, the whole works. It's gonna feel good, it's gonna be nice. We have Laquan's car. I made a short video about it before. He went to a shop. This was a Cosmic build tranny. This is a MR, and they did something wrong and burnt the clutch pack. So we took it out, sent the clutch pack into Cosmic. They're sending it back, and we work closely with Cosmic to get, you know, to your power goals or whatever is possible on the MRs. Jamaica, aka Gregory, he's good. He's just gotten to a point where now we're doing the center console, I'm sorry, the cluster, the race cluster, programming and everything. So that's all that is out. It's going to be done today, and then continue driving and breaking it in, and basically that's it. He's ready to tune, just waiting for a spot. And then the DSM, basically his exhaust downpipe was not done well. They had a 2.5 inch to a 3 inch with a flange with 2.5 inch and 3 inch flange with a 3 inch gasket, and that's not good, especially on turbo cars. So we're gonna change all that and get him to tune. He is on a haltech. We did convert him to haltech 1500, and then a flex wheel tune. But today, one of my friends, I would like to call, we became friends over time, Alex Rodriguez. This car, if you guys don't remember, I think a couple of years ago, built motor, made 800, 850 or something like that, 2.2. Since then, he came back, wanted to do a rebuild to a 2.0, hit 1,000 horsepower, and we did everything, and then he got married. And not saying anything about marriage, but priorities, right? He ended up selling everything to Steph, the one that made 921 with G42, if you can check out my other videos. And basically he went everything back to stock. But today we're going to tune him on flex fuel. He's got the FIC 2150s. He got walbro 255s on a hop switch, which I don't like. I prefer 450, a single. I'd rather you go single 450 if you're going to do, you know, like 500, 600 horses. Anything more than that, you need to get dual 450s. I personally don't like walbro 255s. They're not E85 safe according to walbro themselves. Yo, where's the light? So he's got FIC 2150s from his old build, dual pumps as I mentioned, and then you know, basic stock ECU, stock engine top to bottom, has not been modified. And he got a second-hand used Chris Robins 3582 spec turbo, I believe. And then yeah, everything else is stock. He's got a single disc ACT HDSS clutch with their flywheel, and that's basically it. Let's see, you know, I think this turbo, if it's spec'd out from when I'm, you know, talking to Chris, should be capable of 500, and that's basically what the client wants. So yeah, let's see what he got. Bit choppy, but all in all, you know, we got our beginning stages of data. This is on like 22 pounds of boost. It's pretty good. Does spool, you know, quicker than I expected. I'm pretty sure from, you know, what the turbo maker told me, this is capable of making close to 600 on E85 when going all out on a fully built motor. Considering that it does spool a little bit faster than the GTX series.
Link engaged.
This is on 24 pounds. I'm gonna try to smooth out the timing a little bit. The fuel is pretty close. The boost is probably gonna be, you know, a few PSI more, 93. And then we'll switch over to 85. This is around 25 pounds of boost. Still have a lot of timing that I could throw at it left, but I don't think we're going to push it that much on 93 because this is a flex fuel tune. I typically do not when we do a flex fuel tune, but we still got a little bit of work to do. This was around 27, 25 pounds. We didn't want to really push it like I mentioned. We're going to switch to E85 and make the rest of the power. This was our first run on E85 and it didn't go so well. After 6,500 RPM, he just went very, very lean. His secondary pump is supposed to turn on at the time. I don't think it did. And it wasn't a discrepancy of 5 or whatnot AFR. It was like a couple of AFRs. So he was running like around 12.8, 13, and his pump I think gave out. So we're gonna inspect all that and continue tuning after we find what's wrong. So the pump failed, the secondary pump failed, and we saw where it was like the old school 255 he had dual. So we changed that. We were running lean, that's what it was. And then we changed the hop switch too. It looks like he had like a kind of old rusty hop switch. All right, so let's go back to basics. Yep.
Link engaged.
This was a lot better. It's a lot of fuel now, so gonna have to lean down a little bit. But I'm gonna start pushing this turbo and see what it can really do. Still on 26 pounds. After we did the work on the fuel system, we had E85 on it before. It was at 90%, but it dropped down. I guess it got mixed better. It was dropping to like 72%. That's what we're tuning on right now. So it's on 26, 27 pounds. I am starting to put a little bit of timing to compensate for the E85, and we're going to keep pushing it. Just going to clean out the graph a little bit so we can see what's going on after the fuel is fixed. Continuing to clean up the timing table and the fuel table, but it looks like he has a lighter spring in the wastegate, and I'm having to run a higher wastegate duty cycle to get up to boost. But this was, at peak it hit like 28, then by redline it was like at 25, but we're gonna keep climbing. So that was on 29 pounds, and by red line it was 27. We're getting up there. I think I'm going to push it to 30 pounds of boost at peak. But this turbo wants to go, meaning I think I need to increase the rev limiter a little bit just to see what it does. That'll also give me a chance to check the fuel system at higher revs as well. This is our final number at E85, and this is a very capable turbo. I'm pretty sure he will be able to make more power. And you know, the torque curve looks pretty good. It's not really going down towards the end, so it is efficient. I would say again, like this is probably like a GTX 3576, maybe a little smaller. It does spool a little faster, but this is one of the better turbos we can get when it comes to response and higher horsepower on those stock block limits for the streets. I would recommend this to anybody who is looking to get a turbo and making 500 on a budget. But talk to Chris, make sure this is the turbo, and he has other options too. I would like to see this in an open housing and a ball bearing to see what it does. It boogies, but I feel like it's like size of like a 3576, maybe a little smaller. Drives great, spools awesome. I'm not even trying, like I got this running at 40% wastegate. And it looks like if I hit it at 3, the boost hits full at like 4D200 for a turbo that's capable of 650. There's a little jittering down low. I'm gonna adjust his MyVec for that, and most likely that's his blowout valve too.
Disengaged.
Thank you guys for watching. I get a lot of questions. Do you do e-tunes? Yes, I definitely do e-tunes. But I like to have a conversation first about what your car is. That's why there's no like payment system set up. We talk about it, what you're going through and everything, and then we exchange information, and we say like, what, I can help you or I can't help you or things like that. But I like a conversation first. But yeah, definitely do e-tunes. The shop, another question, do we do build-ins? Yes, all these cars that we're putting on the dyno, most of them with the higher numbers, they're like we built them. We do A to Z work. Only thing we don't do is a transmission. We send it to TRE, and John from TRE is the master at his craft, and he takes care of that. But other than that, everything else we do. So if you were interested in any services that you need advice, it doesn't matter if you give us business or not, I'm here. Just shoot us some email or message and whatnot. And thank you for the love. Keep the subscriptions coming. Until next time, be kind.